everyone, so please excuse my hair, I just had a bath and it's disgusting. But yeah, I'm filming outside because, just for a change. So yeah, this video is just some of my quick travel tips, and hopefully some of them will help you. There's nothing like super serious or anything like that, but yeah, if you guys didn't already know, I went on a 7-week exchange in France at the end of last year, and before that I went on a 3-week school trip around Italy, Spain and Greece, just looking at art galleries and really cool artwork and buildings and things. And I've also been on a 10-day trip to LA with my family when I was in grade 6, so a while ago. But I've also just been on many many trips. Patty, oh my gosh. I know you're gonna get stuck in the chair. Come on, if you want to sit up here, sit up here. Quick, Smart. Get up here. Or are you stuck? There you go. Okay. So, now I have a puppy on my lap and tail in my face. So, yeah, these are like things that most of these no one really told me, but they're just things that I've sort of picked up through all my various travels. So some of these are just for overseas, some of these are just when you go anywhere. But yeah, so first thing is one of my favourite things is, and all of these aren't really like necessary, they're just to make your trip like really cool. Ow. So the first thing that I recommend is to buy, before you go on the trip, buy a new perfume or maybe a really cool smelling deodorant, or maybe if you're a guy, like a new cologne or aftershave, or like something really, some sort of scent for you to wear, and make sure that it's something that you've never worn before but something that you really like, and don't start wearing it until either you leave to go on the plane and then put it in your luggage, or start wearing it when you actually arrive at your destination. So this works best if you're on sort of a longer trip, but even if you're just going to be away for like a week or something like that, make sure that you wear this new scent every single day, and that way when you get back, every time you smell that smell, you'll remember your trip, which is really, really cool. I did this not on purpose. My friend gave me a new perfume for my birthday the day before I left to go on my 7-week trip in France, and I wore the perfume every day, and now every time I wear it, I just remember all the good memories from when I was away, which is really good, because obviously scents do bring back memories. So I think that that's a really cool thing to do, especially maybe if you're like going to like visit family or something and you really miss them. At least like that way you can like sort of remember the trip. And also I recommend when you get back, don't wear the same scent all the time, because you'll lose like you'll lose the whole thing. You'll just start smelling like yourself. Just use it like on occasion. So yeah. Okay, and the next thing is kind of similar, and it is either create a playlist to go on your trip, and don't listen to that playlist until you leave, and then when you're there, make it like the only thing you listen to, or like the main thing that you listen to while you're there, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of travel. Like when I was on the exchange, I was on the bus to school every day, which was about half an hour there and back every day, so I just listened to the same thing every time, and now when I listen to it, it brings back the same memories, and yes, the same kind of thing. I also recommend if you don't want to create a playlist, or that's not really what you are into. Maybe if an artist you really like is like coming out with a new album or something, kind of around the time of when you're going to be leaving, don't listen to it until you leave, and that way like you'll hear it for the first time on the trip, and then especially if you really like it, every time you listen to it again it'll just remind you of that place, which I really like the fact that things bring back memories of like really good times. Okay, and the next few things are like sort of for long plane trips. Well, the first one's not, but they are if you're going on a plane with limited luggage. The first one is if you're going to be going somewhere cold and you need to take a really big coat, don't put it in your checked luggage, and also don't put it in your carry-on. Just carry the coat with you, and even if sometimes it can be a little bit chilly in the airport, so maybe just wear it, and that way when you're on the plane you can like use it as like an additional blanket, because the blankets they give you on long flights are usually pretty thin and they don't keep me warm enough, and usually on planes it's really cold. So you can also use it as like a pillow or anything like that, just to really get you comfortable, but it won't take up all the space in your carry-on, which for me is a big thing. Like, I have heaps of trouble packing. And another thing kind of to go along with going on long plane trips is wear layers. That way, for one, you'll be taking up more space, leaving more space in your suitcase, and also you'll be able to take them off in the plane if you need to. I know it can be kind of difficult when you're actually walking around the airport because sometimes you get really hot, but you can just like tie them to your arms, tie them to your bag, you know, whatever you need to do to cart your clothes and all your belongings into the plane. I'm no kidding. Sorry, my hair is just bothering me a lot and it looks disgusting, I'm sorry. And I've just got things written down, just sorry to remember what to talk about, but I didn't write this down. But I definitely would recommend, if you can, bring your carry-on bag, try to get a carry-on bag with wheels, because this is something that I haven't done on, you know, my two last overseas trips, and can I tell you how hard it was to lug around a 10-kilo carry-on bag just in my in the crook of my arm. It was difficult, and I felt like it was cutting my arm off. And especially if you're going with school or something like that, you can bet that people are going to want to go shopping and stuff, and of course you don't want to just get lost in the airport all alone, so you're going to want to follow them around. And I wish I would have brought a bag with wheels. I should have learnt my lesson from the first time, but yeah, and then later in the trip, if you're going on trains and things, it's so much easier having wheels on your carry-on, because that way carrying a big 10-11 kilo bag is not easy. I know you might not be allowed to take that much carry-on, but I take as much carry-on as I can. I'm definitely an overpacker, but okay. Yeah, another thing just for on the plane, and that's also, yeah, if not you're on a plane, if you're just going on a trip where you know you'll be travelling around a lot, either take a backpack, a really big backpack, or something with wheels that you can pull along. It depends what you're doing, of course, but having something that you can only carry in your on your arm or on your shoulder can be really, really difficult. My next thing is, wherever you go, make sure you bring at least one pair of really comfy shoes, and obviously it depends where you're going, what time of year, what the temperature's going to be, but especially if you're going somewhere wet or just really cold, make sure you bring shoes that are waterproof and warm, because the last thing you want to do is bring shoes that are going to be uncomfortable, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of walking. Yeah, you're going to really annoy yourself, and also especially if you have like really small feet or really large feet, that if you're going somewhere especially overseas, they might not have your size, and you don't rely on, oh, I'll just buy shoes when I get there, because trust me, chances are you're not going to find the pair that you actually have been like hoping for, and you're going to be stuck with uncomfortable feet. And the worst thing is blisters ruining your trip, because the whole time walking around seeing really cool things, you're going to have really sore feet, and it's just going to not ruin it, but make everything not as amazing as it could be. Next thing is also, if you're going overseas and if you're going somewhere that has a different power adapter or charger thing, you know what I'm talking about, different PowerPoint thing. For one, make sure that you do buy an adapter before you leave, and I think buy multiples, especially if you're traveling with other people. But bring a power board. I think that's what they're called. Like, you know, like with the multiple things, because you might think you're not going to need it, but by the time that you bring by the time you're charging your laptop, if you bring it, phone, music device if you bring it, camera, and then anything else that you might be using, like you could be charging multiple devices, especially if you're traveling with someone else and you're staying in hotels. They might only have one PowerPoint. And also, what's really a good idea, what I found really helpful, is buy like your things with a USB charger. Buy ones with either double or triple, so you can plug in multiple USB things into the one thing. You know what I'm talking about. And then put it on your power board, and that way, like, obviously watch it, don't leave it unattended and cause a fire or anything like that. Make sure everything's safe, but yeah, just try to think ahead about your chargers and what you're going to need to charge. And that's another thing, make sure that your chargers actually are in really good condition and work before you leave, because the worst thing would be to, you know, be planning to take your camera and then your camera charger stops working when you're there, and you can't take all the really nice pictures that you've been, you know, hoping for and everything like that. And I had more things to say, but I can't really think of them now. So the last thing on my list is take heaps of photos. Don't be afraid to ask people to take photos of you in front of things. Obviously, don't just ask total strangers if you've got a really expensive camera that you don't want to get stolen. But, you know, if you're on a school trip and you can be a bit nervous, you'll regret it if you don't get photos in front of like cool things. If that's what you like, you'll regret it. And I regret not getting more photos of me and my friends in front of really cool things when I went into these amazing places. So take as many photos as you want. Make sure that you buy a large enough memory card, because the worst thing would be to, you know, be taking all these photos throughout the day and then not being able to. I also recommend, if your camera battery runs out really quickly, especially if it's going to be cold, bring multiple batteries, and then that way that you can charge multiple batteries each night when you get back to wherever you're staying. So yeah, hopefully these tips helped you. If you like this video, let me know. I know I haven't made anything really like this before, but I had a lot of fun, and I wish someone would have told me some of these things before I went on some of my trips. But yeah, if you would like any more advice on travelling or anything like that, I might make a part 2 if I think of many more things, as I'm sure I will as soon as I turn the camera off. So yeah, I love you, and I'm planning on filming another video after this, depending on if all the things are dry, because yeah, it's a horsey video and it's about halters and leads and I washed them all, so if they're dry I'll make a video. But yeah, alright, see ya!